graph the solution of the system of inequalities. Each of these is linear, and so those should be pretty straightforward to graph. So we'll start with this first one that has an x-intercept of 8 and a y-intercept of 4. So we got something like this, and I'll just go back on it so that I've got the whole line there. As far as which side of this line we have, if you just pick 0, 0 as a test point, 0 plus 0 is not greater than 8. So 0, 0 doesn't work, so we have to be on the other side of this line. So that's up in this direction. For the second equation, this has an x-intercept of -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a y-intercept of 2. So there's that line. And then again, picking a test point, if I pick 0, 0, as a test point, I get 0 plus 0, which is less than 4, so that works. So that means that we're going to be below this line. And finally, this last one, a little bit more complicated. It's got an x-intercept of 8/3, which is a little bit less than 3. Okay. And a y-intercept of -4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So there's that line. And then as far as which side of that we are on, we just pick a test point. So if I pick 0, 0 as my test point, I have 0 minus 0, which is less than 8. So I know that I'm on this side of that line. Okay. And so hopefully you can see the overlap is going to be in this tiny little triangle here. Okay. And of course, when we're graphing in a solution of a system of inequalities, we want our vertices. Okay. So we've got this point, and this point, and this point that we need to find. So that's actually looking at each pair of these of the corresponding equations and solving those. So we'll just pick this this first pair and solve that. So if we add those two equations, we get 4y, and we're just looking at the corresponding equation now. We get 4y equals 12, so y equals 3. And if we plug that into this this first one, I get x plus 2 times 3 equals 8. So x is equal to 2. So 2, 3 is this point right here. 2, 3. Okay, that's this point. Looking at the next pair, let's go ahead and look at this one here. If I add those two equations, I'm going to cancel out the y. And so adding those, I get 2x equals 12. That gives me x equals 6. And then if we plug that into this first equation, we get -6 plus 2y equals 4. Or 2y equals 10, so y equals 5. So 6, 5 is a point. And that was, let's see, these two. Let's see. This line and this line. So that's this point right here. So 6, 5, 6, 5 for that point. And then finally this point right here. And that's going to be this equation and this equation. So again, if we add those two equations, we'll eliminate y. And we get a 4x equals 16. So x equals 4. If we plug that in the first equation, we get 4 plus 2y equals 8. Or 2y equals 4, which leads to y equals 2. So 4, 2 is the last point. That's this point right here. 4, 2. Okay. That's pretty messy. So maybe draw things a little bit bigger. But just make sure that you're able to kind of see the region and those vertices.